We're going to talk about education issues. Today's teenagers don't remember life without cell phones. Once they get to high school, most have them, and in some cases, they've had teachers even encouraging them for assignments. On July 1st last year, a Georgia law took effect to ban them for children in 8th grade or younger. The author of that bill joins us, Republican Representative Scott Hilton of Peachtree Corners. He chairs the House Committee on Information and Audits. He serves as Secretary of the House Education Committee. Also here is Democratic Senator Rashaun Kemp of Atlanta, who works in education. He is on the Senate Education and Youth Committee, along with Government Oversight and Urban Affairs. Welcome to you both. I appreciate this.
Thank you, Donna. Great to be here.
So let's start with some numbers. It's been 6 months, as I said, since state law went into effect to ban students in kindergarten through 8th grade from using cell phones. A recent survey conducted by the Professional Association of Georgia Educators, or PAGE, with Georgia Southern University found that nearly 72% of educators believe the Distraction-Free Education Act will improve student learning. About 71% of teachers indicate a similar ban on personal electronic devices are needed in 9th through 12th grades, and that number climbs to 83% among high school teachers. So apparently they really want this, Chairman Hilton. You sponsored Bell to Bell for the younger students. What has led you to keep this going? What kind of response have you received so far?
Well, you highlighted the data, but the response from parents, teachers, administrators has just been overwhelming and frankly life-changing for a lot of students who are now realizing, man, I can learn in a cell phone-free environment. We are seeing grades improve, fights in the class go down, and students socializing, and you know, really a lot of improvements to mental health. So just all around a tremendous impact, K through 8, and it's just the next logical step is to expand that to high school. 33 states plus the District of Columbia have done a cell phone free legislation, bipartisan collection of states. Georgia's the only one that did K through 8. I'm proud of us for doing that. I think we put our toe in the water and helped get folks and parents used to it. And now I think the next logical step is to include high school.
So a phase-in worked, you think?
I think so.
Your thoughts?
Well, look, I'm a former high school teacher and principal, and I can tell you my teachers would poll that same amount. You know, I think it is critically important that we extend this up to high school. Having been in a high school environment, we know a lot of what Scott referred to, you know, the fights and the bullying and just the distractions are, you know, they don't stop at 8th grade. And so it's important for us to bring that up to the high school level.
Okay, so it's HB 1009.
Yes.
Tell us exactly, would it be exactly the same?
It's similar to the K through 8 with a few exceptions. We wanted to carve out, high school is different. We recognize that. And so there's a lot of different off-campus activities that students participate in, dual enrollment, jobs. We want to make sure kids have the flexibility, parents have access to them for those type of activities. But the science tells us that a bell-to-bell works best. The reason being is we want teachers to get out of being the cell phone police, allow them to teach and students to learn. So it'll look similar to K through 8. With a few exceptions, and we want the community, we want teachers, parents, please reach out to us through this legislative process so we can perfect this and get it right the first time.
Where are you in the hearing process?
Yeah, we expect to get a hearing in the next couple weeks. Again, would encourage folks to reach out to their lawmaker. Let us hear your feedback. We'd love to know that. We want you to be a part of this process with us.
Okay. You have another education bill, SB 381. And that would direct education funding through the QBE, the Quality Basic Education Formula, to help students living in poverty, students in foster care, students who are in unstable housing. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, Georgia's one of only 6 states that does not, you know, account for poverty when we're funding students in our funding formula. So it's time that we update. It hasn't been updated since I was 5 years old. It's time that we update our QBE formula and account for the things that are impacting students in education now. And I truly believe that when we better invest in students that are in poverty, from Atlanta all the way down to Valdosta, we're going to see improvements in educational outcomes. We are in a state in which 30% of our kids are reading on grade level, or not reading on grade, or reading on grade level, meaning 70% are not. So we have to do more to invest in public education, and I think addressing poverty is the way to go.
So how would this work?
So what this would do was would give additional 25% of what we currently do with QBE to school districts that have high students, amount of students in poverty. And And it also directs them how to spend the money to make sure we're investing it properly. We can't just pour money without some oversight and expectation that we're investing properly in educating our students.
Okay. And so where's that bill right now?
Same with Representative Hilton's bill. We need a hearing, so people reach out to your folks in the Senate and tell them to hear Senate Bill 381.
Yeah, you're feeling really good about things with this. You did get pushback last year, though, didn't you?
We did. Some parents were concerned about school safety. As the dad of 3 kids, I share that same concern. We talked to the safety community, who all said this was the best decision. In case of an emergency, you want kids focused on getting to the right place. But yeah, we feel good. I appreciate the speaker lending his support and just all the things we're doing around education to promote literacy and really help our kids advance in Georgia. It's a great day. We're moving in the right direction.
And each school district has done this differently. Talk about the different ways they have stopped having the kids. You know, some are putting them in packages or, little pouches.
We believe every school district knows best, and so they ought to be able to design a program that works best for them. What's neat about the K-8 bill is a lot of high schools said proactively, let's go ahead and do a cell phone-free classrooms on our own. And so a good majority of systems have already implemented this without even needing a law because they see the benefits firsthand.
I'm curious, I mentioned the fact that I remember doing stories about how teachers were using the cell phones to help kids learn. Yeah. So that takes that out altogether, right? It
does, yeah. What we found is, when you do that, the kids immediately, what's going to happen. They do the school activity and then they're back on social media. And so we definitely want to allow for school devices, think Chromebooks and tablets and things like that. But for your personal device, I know for me, it's just so tempting to, start surfing the internet and things. And that's a distraction from learning.
Okay, and the teachers still have them too.
Correct.
They're still allowed to have them.
Yeah.
I want to get to another bill that you're looking at. You plan to drop a voucher accountability bill. What is that?
Yeah, all public schools, they are expected to have students perform at grade level or they face repercussions, the same with charter schools. And, I believe that if we're going to give public dollars to private schools, the same expectation should be placed upon them. And so this bill would require them to show some academic success with their students or face losing the ability to have students come in with a promise scholarship.
So accountability in what way? So just tracking the data or?
Academics. So, all of the schools that take advantage of this program, they have to give a norm reference test. And so now we're saying let's take that a step further and say that students should be performing at grade level on those tests. If they're not, then you given some opportunities over 4 years to improve. If not, then you could face losing opportunity to bring students in on the Promise Scholarship.
Wow, interesting. Okay. I know you're on education in the House. Talk about anything else that we may see come up.
I've got a really important bill that I'm working on, especially for our community, in regards to what's called this redshirting. A lot of families, especially those with summer birthdays, want to hold their child back just to give them more time to develop, mature, and enter school at the right age. And so state law is kind of silent on this issue right now. So I introduced legislation that says to empower parents in that decision-making process to say you can decide when you first enroll your child into school. And so that helps parents, give them the certainty and be able to plan that process for their child.
So it's not using the age. It's not saying 6 or what is it, 6 right now, right?
Yeah, right now Georgia has to offer public education at age 6. Some parents, especially of boys in the summer, are enrolling their child at 6 in kindergarten, which some of the science tells us that's best for that child. So I believe that the parent knows best what path that child ought to take. And so, again, this legislation will empower them in that decision-making process.
And I would think you like that, too.
Yeah.
All right,
love to learn more about it.
All right, then. I love that. Yeah. Well, thank you both for coming on the show. And it's always good to have people talking about education. Where does the biggest portion of our budget? Education. Right. So thanks so much for coming on.